So my personal take on decision making is, of course, there is some decisions that you can make that aren't the best, and there are some that are really good. It really takes time to kind of learn that, and I would really suggest watching pro matches and look at how people like position themselves, look at how they make decisions, and ask yourself, why are they making that decision then and there, and try to incorporate that into your own gameplay. Another thing that's really good with decision making is being able to make a decision right away without hesitating. It is really not good to hesitate. And for an example, if you're undecisive of like what angle you want to hold or what corner you want to sit in, and then you're just kind of like out in the open, you're probably not going to be able to win it as easily as if you instantly made a decision and you know what you want to do right away. And the same thing ties into, like, let's say you're in a 2v2 post plant for an example, and you say, oh, I want to push this together with you, or like your other teammate. That's really good because you're communicating first off with your teammate what you want to do, and then you're doing something together. So you have a game plan in mind, and for that reason, the decision was good. And let's say you're going to make a wrong play. In my opinion, if you're talking with your teammate and you're doing something together with your teammate, the play you make isn't necessarily wrong, and it's because you're doing it together. And teamwork, as I said before, is really important. Right here, this is my infamous play in window against Ignitas. I don't remember what tournament it was, but I was able to get into window really aggressively. And right here, I hear that there's a dude middle. So I see one and I see two. And this is a lot of like trigger discipline coming into play, where what it is you don't kill the guy right away if they don't know you there, because you're able to get not only more info, but you could potentially get more kills. So right here, I see two and I'm like, okay, I want a third. Come over here, I see a third one, and I was able to get 1, 2, and 3. Almost whiffed on the third kill though, but it was nice. Ability usage in Valorant is quite different than CS because there's different abilities that have more weight than other abilities. So let's say we are talking about like trading utility, and a lot of the game at the high level is a utility war and using your abilities properly. So one thing that you can do is you can use your abilities to bait out other abilities. And if you went into a round without baiting any abilities, you're probably just gonna run into, like, let's say a Killjoy Molly or some crucial ability that just completely can stop you from running in. And for that reason, it's really good to bait utility because it opens up, as I said before, like opening up possibilities for you, kind of similar to map control. You use your abilities to take map control. And if we're talking about the abilities, we can also see abilities as kind of like chess pieces. So let's look at an Omen Smoke versus a Cypher Cage. Now there's different weight in what the abilities are, and let's say you're attacking as an Omen and the Cypher's defending, and you're able to use like your Omen Smoke to lurk, but because you're doing that, it baits out like the Cypher Cage. The reason that the Cypher Cage is worth more than the Omen Smoke is because the Omen Smoke actually regenerates, so you get another smoke. Whereas the Cypher Cage is kind of like this one-time thing, and it's in this certain spot, and it allows you just to not get held off by that ability. And for that reason, you've won the utility war. And it's really good to think of utility kind of as like chess pieces. And let's say the Omen Smoke could be like a pawn or something, and the Cypher Cage could be a knight. It is a favorable trade, and it's really good. One thing for optimizing your ability usage, I would highly suggest watching pro players, and watch a pro player that plays the agent or the agent pool that you play, and look at how they use their abilities. look at why they use a certain ability in a certain spot. Always like the best way to learn is by watching and asking why constantly. And when you're asking why, that's when your brain will start thinking a lot more and coming up with answers for why they potentially used a certain ability in a certain spot at a certain time. So this clip right here is gonna be covering just kind of like ability usage and ability weight. So right off the bat, you can see that 4 of us are grouped towards A on split, and then we have a Killjoy on the other side of the map, and he has his ultimate. What he does right away is he throws down his ultimate at B, and instantly the enemy team kind of has to respect it or use a bunch of utility to kind of like counter it. Or another thing that abilities can do is you can also trade like ability weightage with like rotations and stuff. So that Killjoy put his ulti down, and because of that, all of the enemy team were able to just rotate off of A, and we had a free sight. So right here, the Killjoy is just chilling with his ultimate. He gets killed by flank, so after they know it's a fake, we already have the sight, and so we're up, and yeah, we can basically play like a 4v5. It looks like the Jett tried to get an aggro pick spawn, but he ended up falling. But the Sage is right here trying to get another trade. He also falls. I think this is kind of the similar, yeah, this is the same clip as the aim earlier, where I was able to just 1v5 right here with Reyna. But yeah, going back to that, make sure you remember your crosshair placement's really important. Isolate the 1v1s and everything will be nice.